I'm really glad you've made it to the final video of this path. Let's quickly review the steps we've talked about to becoming our best selves. First, you thought about who you really want to become, why, and set a goal. Then, we talked about how to turn that goal into smaller, more practical, actionable steps with a positive mindset to help you stick to it. We talked about mistakes and challenges you face along the way to achieving your goals, and that they are not a sign of incompetence. They are completely natural and can actually be real opportunities for us to become better. I also shared several tips to help you better organize your busy life, to make things more manageable and enjoyable. And we explored how faith can add to all of these things and give you the ultimate motivation and strength to continue in this journey. In the first video, I shared this quote by psychologist Carl Rogers. "The good life is a process, not a state of being. It's a direction, not a destination. Being your best self is not something you one day hope to achieve and check off of a list, but it's an ongoing lifestyle." We all have checklists when it comes to self-improvement. We may want to be thinner, richer, smarter, more outgoing, more organized, or skilled. Sometimes we want to improve in so many ways that it can feel more like a burden than a goal, making us feel discouraged and give up before we even really start, more harmful than helpful. The thing is that life isn't like a video game. You don't have to reach a certain level or skill requirement to move forward. But you also can't max out your skills, then just forget about them either. There are almost no limits to how much you can improve in this life. If you don't use a skill, it weakens like a muscle. But if you consistently practice, even a little bit at a time, the skills and characteristics you want to develop will keep improving and growing almost indefinitely. A realistic goal is to reach a place where you are content and happy with who you are and where you are in life. We all have a certain number of years to live on this earth, and we can choose what to do with that time. It's not about impressing others or working on things because other people have told you that you should. You get to choose who you want to be. Try to be honest with yourself about where you're at and what you need to do to get to where you want to be. Brené Brown describes this as the choice to show up and be real. It's the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. Don't try to improve only for other people. Do it for yourself. Work even in small ways to consistently try to be the person you want to become, polishing off your imperfections a little at a time. Just like Aesop's story of the tortoise and the hare, it doesn't matter how quickly you get where you want to go, just that you never stop moving and taking steps down the path. It's also important to recognize the progress you've already made. Think about who you were at the beginning of this year or the beginning of this path. You've already improved and grown, but it shouldn't stop there. You can keep going and keep growing and continue the momentum you've already gained, no matter where you are in your personal journey. I love what Stephen Covey teaches in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People about beginning with an end in mind. Beginning with an end in mind means we shouldn't spend our lives working towards simply completing the next task. We need to have a vision for the future, like we've talked about in previous videos. However, it's important to remember that it says to have an end in mind, not the end. You're experimenting. Don't be afraid to change your goals and your focus. There is no one right end. Our life is all about trial and error. That's why we're here, to learn and grow. God doesn't expect us to always know exactly who we want to be or how we'll get there right now, but He can help us catch a glimpse. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase." Faith in God can give you even greater strength and capacity to improve. It helps you see the bigger picture, and looking at your life through a spiritual lens helps you better see areas where you can improve and inspires you to be better. But unlike the rest of the world that sometimes pulls you down, our Heavenly Father encourages us to be better with perfect love and understanding. He tells you that you already have value just as you are. You're already enough. You are a child of God with God-given talents, traits, and potential. But just like an uncut gemstone is beautiful and valuable in its own right, God values and loves you, even while He sees what you can become and gives you experiences and inspiration to help you round off the edges and really shine. But change isn't always easy. Change means accepting that we need to become better. Sure, we can change on our own and figure out what we need to improve, but God knows what we need to change to become more like Him. He knows what we need to give up in order to become who we want to be. Sometimes we may feel like our worth is dependent upon other things, but it's not. It's non-negotiable. Joy Jones has said, Spiritual worth means to value ourselves the way Heavenly Father values us, not as the world values us. Our worth was determined before we ever came to this earth. The Lord loves us no matter who we are. He wants us to be our best selves, but He knows that it takes time and effort. He doesn't expect us to change overnight. We are worthy in His eyes, and that will never change. I want to leave you with two of my favorite quotes by Ralph Waldo Emerson and Jeffrey R. Holland that I think go hand in hand. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Keep trying, keep trusting, keep believing, keep growing. Heaven is cheering you on today, tomorrow, and forever. Thank you for taking this path with me. I truly hope that you've been able to develop some habits and insights on how to become your best self. You can also join our online community at addfaith.org to keep progressing with others. Our mentors will continue to add new goals for the community and hold online group calls to help you stay motivated and encouraged. Good luck, and I'll see you later.